we have inside reporting from inside the Democratic caucus that Arlen Specter, in fact, Arlen Specter is the one that was talking about it in the conference call. Arlen Specter came in and said, oh, by the way, we're all on board, right? Now that he's a Democrat. None of us are going to join a Republican filibuster of this, right? We can at least agree on that. And he hears crickets. And then some Democrats object. They say, well, I don't know, maybe I do want to join a Republican filibuster. Maybe I want to kill this thing. He's like, really? And he's totally surprised by it. Why? And nobody's mentioned this in the press yet. You know why he's surprised by it? It's because he used to be a Republican. The Republicans, they don't join Democratic filibusters. It's not even within the realm of consideration. You know how quickly you'd get kicked out of your chairmanship, et cetera, on the Republican side, and how quickly you'd lose power if you joined a Democratic filibuster? So he's like, what the hell, man, they do things differently around here. These clowns don't even know how to get together and fight. And so then he says, hey, guys, let's stick together here. And in the end, they don't agree to it. They just flat out don't agree to it. But here comes the second interesting part of it. Then Harry Reid comes up to him and says after the meeting, now according to Specter now, mind you, okay? But he has no motivation to lie on this. If he did, then I'd take it with a grain of salt. And he said it in an offhand comment. He wasn't even trying to drive this point home. It was like a moment of honesty. He explained what happened in the caucus, right? It appears that way. So he said, Reid came up to him and said, quote, thanks for saying that. I was reluctant to make that point myself. Now, some people on the Hill wonder why we think Harry Reid is so weak. My God, man, you're the head of the caucus. You're the Senate Majority Leader. You're reluctant to tell your fellow Democratic senators to not join a Republican filibuster? Then what the hell are you doing? Seriously, I literally, someone from Harry Reid's office has to explain to me, what are you doing? Like, if you don't tell fellow Democrats, well, obviously you shouldn't join a Republican filibuster to kill the most important piece of legislation coming from a Democratic White House, then I don't know the words coming out of your mouth. I don't know what you say during these meetings. I don't know what your point is. Why don't you just stop? I mean, he should resign immediately. I mean, how sad. How absolutely. Oh, thank you, Arlen, for making that point. I was a little reluctant to make it myself. Why? Why were you reluctant? Unbelievable.